Welcome back, Nail Queens. Today's mani, I'm going to show you guys how I did this little Christmas tree using gel and dip powder. So the colors I'm going to be using are from a new to me company called Serendipity. They're not like Color Club Serendipity, nor like that drop shipping company called Serendipity that I reviewed almost 2 years ago. This is a completely different company, so I don't want to get them confused. The owner of the company reached out to me and asked me if I could try her powders and review them, so of course I said yes. So I'm going to get into a whole review in this video on top of the mani that I showed you guys at the very beginning. So the first notable thing that I notice when I look at these jars are these little swatch dots that are on the top of the jar. They look like they're added so that you can see the color that's inside of the jar. Since it is black obscured jars, you can't see through them. You do need to somehow be able to see what the color is. So it looks like those were added for our convenience. I personally own a lot of dip powder, so I don't like swatch dots because they get in my way of being able to stack my jars on top of each other. But if you're someone who is into swatch dots, hey, that's cool. It's just not my preference. So I'm opening the jars, and this is what the little lid comes with. That's cool. Your stuff won't spill out. That's great. But I do notice something that's really interesting to me is the weight of these jars. These jars actually weigh more, at least that's what they feel like, way more to me than a traditional dip powder jar, you know, the traditional clear and white lid ones. So I'm comparing the weights here. The first one was 1.5 ounces and this is 0.7 ounces. So the Serendipity jars are just about double the weight of your traditional white lid jar. Before I start dipping, I also want to note the opening size is a little bit smaller than the standard jar that I was just talking about. So I'm just going to compare this normal dip powder from Triple D, her normal jars compared to this jar. So the reason for the size differences is because it looks like this company does custom packaging. She went out of her way to order very unique jars that have wooden-esque like lids, engraved logo on the top, and her jars are completely black and they feel more like glass, or yeah, kind of like glass in my opinion. So that does attest to the weight difference. And I also did go on the company owner's website and check out the website and see if my order ships by weight or if it's a standard flat rate for shipping. So depending on the shipping rate that you choose, the economy is $5.99, and I noticed regardless of how much I added to my cart, whether it was double the amount in my cart, the $5.99 economy shipping was always available. It was just the other shipping rates that increased by weight. So that's just something to note. It looks like they offer flat rate shipping. I don't know if that's over or up to a certain amount, just to note. I just personally thought that the weight of the jars would factor into how heavy my package would be if I were to order from her website and have it shipped to me, but it's good to know that they have flat rate at the current moment. So I'm going to get into my dip powder routine. If you guys have been here before, then you've already seen my routine and you know I use peel base. So I'm touching my nails to make sure my peel base is dry before I apply base bond onto my nail. The reason I use peel base is for a quick, easy pop-off removal. That way I don't have to soak my nails in acetone or remove it with an e-file. It just makes it really easy for me to remove the powder when I am ready to. And I decided to pour over the dip powder because I felt like the opening of this jar was just a little too large for my thumb. I do feel like my thumb is on the larger side, and had I poked my finger into the jar at this moment with the current volume of powder in it, it would have caused overflowing and spilling. One of my nail friends noted that in videos where I'm working with a new-to-me dip powder company that she would like if I did more of a review style and talked about things I do and don't like about companies. So that's why I'm being a little bit more vocal in today's videos. I'm trying to make sure on my very first impressions videos, I do talk more about the things that stand out to me, I find unique or different in these new companies that are new to me. I feel like when we're trying new companies for the very first time, we're more critical, more observant about things, and we're like, that's a little different, that's unique. So that's all I'm trying. That's why I'm being a little more vocal this time. But I'm just applying my glitter. So I'm working in the green glitter right now, and then I'm going to work on the more burgundy color later on. She did send me 3 different colors, and I chose to only work with 2 of them because I felt like the shifter one was a little not in the color palette that I was going for. When I'm working in Christmas nail designs, I have like an idea of colors that I like to use. And lately I've been really into like these deep foresty greens and the burgundy reds and stuff like that, the deep reds. I really like those combos together. And when you guys see my Christmas favorites video, you're going to really see me talk about these tones of dip powder. So I'm really liking that I got these colors sent to me because it's truly a vibe that I'm really into right now.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my...
So you guys know I do voiceovers, right? So that's what this is right now. But I'm keeping in a little audio clip coming up in just a couple seconds because guess what I did to my jar of dip powder? Yep, I spilt it. So I'm going to show you guys how I clean up spilt dip powder. I'm working on a pretty sleek surface. The only dust is the nail dust that I have here. So I just took a paper, like a 8.5 by 11 size paper, and I dusted my spilt dip powder onto it like if I would like a broom in a dustpan. Have you guys ever like swept something off the floor using paper or cardboard? I totally have. So that's like the method that I'm using to pick this up and put it back in my jar.
When the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop, but somehow I knew.
So coming up next, I'm actually incorporating another brand into this mani, and it's from Triple D. It's one of her new colors called Diva Dust. It is a very expensive dip powder, but after using it, I totally see why. It is like literally like magical dust. Like it's I don't know, you just have to have it and use it to really understand. It lays differently than normal like fine shimmery dip powders. It's very compact, but it's very pigmented as well. It only takes me 2 dips to get complete full coverage on this, and I absolutely love it. It's like a white dip powder. It looks like fallen snow, but it has like this very nice iridescent pink bluish shift to it in the sparkle shimmer. While I finish up the main color process and clear encapsulate, I'm going to answer this Q&A from Kendall. She says, when people send you products, do they treat you more as someone to review their products or just treat you more as they just want to be friends with them? For example, Triple D, a brand owner you're an ambassador for, does the owner use you as someone to review products or you just to be their friend? Also, since I see you do a lot of favorites videos, what are some products that you actually regret using and buying? So thank you for this incredible question. I feel very passionately about this type of question. The second part of your question about the regrets, I'm actually going to do a whole video on that. So I'll answer that in a future video. But as for the first part, it's both. It depends on the company that I'm working with. So for example, Triple D, I'm actually not a brand ambassador for her. I work very closely with her and help her with her business and the business side of things, marketing, stuff like that. But I actually am not her ambassador. She has an incredible ambassador team, but I'm not on that team. So Dodie is the owner of Triple D, so I'm going to refer to Triple D as Dodie. So Dodie and I have been friends since 2018. We chatted on the internet in 2017, but we really got close as friends in 2018. So I've known her for just over 3 years. We've been really close friends since then, and we've talked almost every single day in those past 3 and some years, going on 4 years. So I do consider Dodie to be more of a friend, and she was a friend before she opened her business. And there was a period of time in her having her businesses that I wasn't like helping her and everything. But one day it came a point where she needed help. I offered help. It turned out and it worked great for the both of us. I was able to offer her help and help her improve certain aspects of her business. but her and I are still very great friends, more than just her business. So I feel like with her, it's a very unique situation because she is a great friend of mine. And it's not like she became my friend specifically for her business. We were friends before her business came about. There are a handful of businesses between very big businesses and small businesses that I work with that are strictly professional, and that is it. And there are also a handful here and there that are more than just professional. Like, we really clicked and we really vibe, and it's turned more into a great friendship. So it's both. It depends on the person. It depends on who I'm working with and like what the both of us have to offer for each other, because sometimes you just click with someone and you become friends, and it doesn't matter if you guys met specifically because you guys connected over business things. I'm just very grateful for those friendships that I've developed with specific business owners, because I'm very glad that I'm able to develop those friendships, and our friendship together and our relationship between the company owner and I goes way more beyond just the business. So I'm actually going to cheat on this part, and I'm going to stamp the design on my nails. I know you guys probably thought I was going to freehand this because I've been freehanding a lot of art lately. I just feel like this little tree swivel thing that's going on, and it's a huge trend going on. I saw it a lot last year. It's more advanced than I could freehand myself, so I decided to stamp it all over, like in white, over my white nail, and then I'm going to take a striping liner brush and some gel base, and I'm going to trace over the white design with the gel base, and then pour over the dip powder onto the nail.
Baby, so did you that everything would change from now on? Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on, it's gonna be you and me decorating the tree from this Christmas on. We forgot.
Of course, since gel moves around until it's cured, I do have to kind of fix some things. So I'm using the silicone pointy end of my silicone tool to just kind of move the gel and the dip powder around until I'm completely satisfied with the complete overall look of it. So I just want it to look like an absolute perfect tree. And then I'm going to cure that in my nail lamp for a full minute and then dust everything off, and I'll be right back.
You came for, and in the coffee shop just next door, we talk for hours on end, and somehow we knew that we'd find something true.
So every tree needs a star, right? Like a tree topper. Well, I have a whole bunch of different glitters and shapes that I store in like this whole little organizer that I got at Walmart. So I'm pulling out like this golden hollow shifting kind of star, and I'm using my dip base bond, applying a little bit of base bond right there, using my dotting tool to literally dab in the base bond and use that to pick up the piece of glitter and place it on the nail. And then I'm going to go back into my base bond once I'm happy with the application where it's like situated, and apply a little bit more base bond to cover the star, and then use activator on top of that to completely harden the whole thing so my star doesn't move anywhere.
And that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on.
I am very happy with how this is looking, how it's turning out, and also the shape that jelly tips are giving my nails. Like, I'm really into it lately. So anyways, I'm applying dip powder top coat to all of the nails except for where the little Christmas tree is. I'm going to use gel top coat on that only because I used gel base and then did the little dip powder thing. I just want to stick with the whole gel thing where I applied gel, top it with gel, and where I applied dip, top it with dip.
Christmas from this Christmas on. It's gonna be you and me decorating the tree from this Christmas on.
So if you've made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you. This is the end result, the final manicure. I'm really loving how this mani turned out. It definitely is what I had in mind. I really like these colors together and the little like Christmas tree made out of gel and dip powder. I think it's really cute and I hope you guys like it too. If you do like this video and these styles of video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps me a lot. And if you're new here, maybe consider subscribing because I have more content like this that comes out every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Decorating the tree from this Christmas on.